Ladies, 16 reasons why a man won't marry you and what to do about it. Part 2 of 2. All's fair in love and talking about marriage at some point in the relationship. Making your wants, needs, desires known is par for the course. In fact, a great question to ask is, are you the relationship kind of guy, or are you just dating casually for some flings here and there? Start with that. Are you a relationship kind of guy, or what are you? Because the relationship kind of guy is someone who invests his time in you. A relationship kind of guy is the guy who has marriage on his mind, but he just wants to make sure he's with the right gal to make it happen. On the flip side, where you're concerned, you don't want to waste 5 years of your life dating a man only to wind up being told, I've thought about it, and it's not you, it's me. I'm just not ready for marriage. 3 years later, I just want to focus on my career and a few other things, personal endeavors. So, then what happens? Ladies, you go and date another man without making it known up front what you want, and the same thing happens again. All those years, never being honest with your guys or up front asking for what you want about your desires going into the relationship, only to end up in the same situation again, single and not married. Imagine dating a guy for 3 years and then it didn't work out. And you started that at like 21. And then come 24 or 25, you date somebody for 2 years. That didn't work out. You date somebody for 2 years. Now you're 30. Age is starting to creep up on you. Now you're 31, 33, 37. Here are some great questions about marriage to ask him. Number 1, how do you feel about marriage? Just what's your take on it? You don't have to marry me. You don't have to think about that, per se. I do want you to. But what are your feelings about marriage? And listen. Number 2, do you see yourself getting married one day? And listen. Number 3, why aren't you married now? Just curious, Number 4, if you found the right gal today, after dating her for 6 months to a year, would you consider marrying her if you knew you would lose her to another guy because you didn't ask her for her hand in marriage? If that's what she wanted. If you found the right gal today and you dated her for a year and things were just great, after dating her for that period of time, would you consider marrying her if you knew you would lose her to another guy who was willing to marry her? In fact, here's a situation. I knew a guy who was dating a gal for about maybe 2 years, 2 or 3. She really wanted to get married. He didn't. They broke up. She started dating. Within 6 months, she got married to a man who was ready to marry her. They actually went on to have kids and everything. She got the family she wanted. The guy who said he wasn't ready kind of regrets that he didn't jump in to say, yeah, let's do this. Let's get married. Instead, he lost her to another guy who was quicker to respond to her needs and wants. So, guys need to understand, if you don't want something and you let it go and somebody picks it up, you might have feelings like, oh gosh, yeah, did I do the right thing? Did I make the right decision? Because now I got to go back out there in the sea of sharks and go play that crazy game again. And, oh, brother, I probably ruined a good thing. So, if you found the right gal today, after dating her for X period of time, would you consider marrying her if you knew that she would leave you if you didn't marry her and she would be going with another guy who would? What would you do? Number 5, what qualities do you look for in a woman? When you think about marrying her to become your wife, what are the qualities you look for? And then listen to those qualities and see if you relate. Number 6, what needs to be in order for you, personally or professionally? What do you need to have done or achieved so that you feel comfortable getting married? Do you want to finish school? Do you want to have a certain amount of money in the bank? What do you need to have in order for you personally or professionally for you to get married? And tell him the right woman could come along at any moment. You may not have that school finished. You may not have that pile of money in the bank. You might not have certain things in order quite yet. So again, if you met the right gal, would you hold on to her and make her yours with the promise of marriage? while you get those things done, because the right gal could come into his life at any time. And those things, the school you'll always be learning. The savings account will go up and down. You'll always be making money and losing it. But if the right gal comes into your life, what are you going to do about it, guy? And number 7, when do you want to get married? To me. Say that. When do you want to get married? To me. These questions might sound, yes, upfront, and a tad marriage aggressive in concept. But in reality, these questions can and should be more associated with love and romance. Tell him, marriage, I look at marriage like finding the love of my life and holding on to them. So, as in, don't look at marriage like a jail sentence, guys, but instead, look at it like locking in the love of your life so no one else can have her. Or you've found the gal you'd love to spend all your time with and never let her go. There's a line in a movie that really stuck with me when I heard it. One of the greatest lines I've ever heard, when it comes to this kind of stuff. And it goes like this: find someone that you want to spend the rest of your life with. Hold on to them and never let them go. I love that line. Find someone that you want to spend the rest of your life with. Hold on to them tight and never let them go. Ladies, become the kind of woman in your man's life. Become the kind of woman he never wants to let go of. Consider everything discussed in this book. Find the one for me and apply it with all your heart and energy. No doubt, if the man in your life also reads this book, Find the One for Me, and some of my other books, yeah, no doubt, who knows how fast you two lovebirds will be walking down the aisle to the altar of love and commitment to mutually promise each other, yes, I do love you, want you to be with me forever. And I can't stand the idea of letting you go.